folks, it's the Podsquad with Kathy Morrison, Colleen Roberts, Wendy Card, and yours truly, George Oliver. Thanks for joining us for New Bern Now's podcast for November 12th, 2020, episode 165.
All right. Yay. We're connecting you with the people, places, and happenings in New Bern and surrounding areas, and we want you to join the conversation.
So get social and let us know how you're doing today or any announcements we need to make. But we like to start off the Pod Squad with a contest, usually a question. And for that, we go to Wendy Card. How are you doing, Wendy?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Okay, you ready for the question?
Yes.
What are the world's highest dwelling animals? Actually, that should be mammals.
Okay. You mean like in the highest altitudes? Like
highest, yes.
What are the highest altitude in the world? Does anybody know that? Like, what's the highest mountain peak?
Mount Everest?
Is that it? Yeah, probably Mount Everest. So maybe it's something that lives on Everest.
I like the way George starts dissecting the question and asking other questions.
He's lawyering me. He's not that.
I want to help the early birds. Whoever was here when we first started, they get hit, and that's their reward for being here, maybe.
So the highest peak is Mount Everest at 29,029 feet.
So what lives at 29,000 feet?
It's not necessarily 29,000. It's what are the world's highest dwelling mammals?
So it's probably Sherpas. I think it's Sherpas who help people get to up Mount Everest.
I like that, George.
Yeah, Sherpas. Yeah, Nepalese.
You're lucky that's not the answer. But if you know the answer, please comment on the video to be entered for a chance to win a prize. So
that's right. It can't be on somebody else's page. It has to be on the New Bern Now Facebook page. So you have an hour to think about it.
Those of you watching, I think I'm probably getting close to the answer because Wendy's trying to shut me up. So not Nepalese, but it might be the neighbor of the Nepalese or, all right, I'll stop.
So Kathy, you look like you are ready for the gingerbread house.
It is gingerbread
contest.
Time. It's time to think about gingerbread. Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 14th, the class will happen at Craven Community College. And they'll, it's a great class, a great way to get started. If you don't know, you really think it's neat and you want to try, but you don't know where to jump off, this is a good way to get started. It's a demonstration class, but we have a little exercise for you to do so you can make your own little mini house before you're done. But you'll get the right recipes. Humidity like this is a real heck of a thing by the time, because you're trying to make nice crisp cookies to put together. So we'll give you good recipes for the gingerbread, for the meringue, not the meringue, the royal icing, because you use meringue powder. And just lots of good tips. It's lots of fun. That's this Saturday. And you can still register. It's at Craven Community College. You go to their website, cravencc.edu/AEP, which is Adult Enrichment Program. And that'll lead you to sign up. And then we'll have the contest, which is going to be virtual this time. So you'll be looking at a screen just like you are now. And there's no forms, no fees. You just need to take a look at the minimal rules we do have and send your pictures in to us at gingerbreadnewbern@gmail.com.
Now the class, is that in person?
That's in person. Wear your mask. Things will be clean and wiped down, and we'll have you seated more than 6 feet apart. We're only using a fraction of what fits in that room, so we will be really spread out. We're in the largest room there that they have for a classroom. So yes, that is in person.
You're coming to us live from what looks like a giant gingerbread.
From a gingerbread train. Do you see the train back there?
Yeah,
that's
and it's
awesome.
Scale. It's
yeah,
huge.
that's one I did last year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I just saw this video, I think it was on Facebook, about people making gingerbread houses out of Pop-Tarts.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
That's cheating. Is that cheating?
I know, but they were saying, especially if you're like a beginner and, or, you know, or you're a family making your first one, you know, you don't have a lot of time, you know, maybe consider trying Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts, graham crackers works for little guys. If you got some little guys and you want to, you know, have them have a good time with it. There's a lot of things that you can use. The only rule that we have says whatever you make it out of has to be edible. So even like last year, we had that really neat beach cottage with a thatched roof, and the thatched roof was linguine. You know, it's edible.
Right.
Dawn Freeman in our office here, Chef Dawn, did one last year of the Clark building, which was so cool. And she's doing one this year, and she told me what it was. I'm going to keep it a secret for now, but it's really cool.
And the roof of your building was chocolate.
Yes, right? It was chocolate bars. Yeah. But I really appreciate what y'all are doing, Kathy, especially having to do it virtual, but keeping this going. It's a great creative outlet for people. I know Dawn's already started working on hers and is real excited. Yeah.
Hers was wonderful last year because she had one facade that was in 1950 something, and the other facade was now. So it was cool to see the historic change in the building, and just wonderful detail that she did.
Yeah, and she used lots of old pictures that we have of the building from when we restored it. So it was pretty neat. Yeah.
And that was a great advertisement for Oliver and Cheek.
Yeah, we appreciated it because she did such a great job with it. It was really nice. Yeah.
So what's going on, Mr. Banjoy?
Oh, you know, just learning new tunes, putting one up every other day. I've done 117 of them so far.
Wow.
Kind of started around the quarantine time as a way to kind of just to get to know my instrument better, but also have something to do while most other things have, you know, not happening as much right now. So that's been a lot of fun. Getting the kids home in about a week for Thanksgiving, for their winter break. So yeah, we're going to play some music for a very Merry Christmas. I know we're looking forward to that, and also at the Bank of the Arts for some Christmas shows. And we're going to play for Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is December 1st. They're doing a celebration in Union Point Park, and so we'll be outside of the gazebo playing some music with the kiddos. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I was in Fuller's Music the other day, and they were talking about finally being able to get their private lessons back on track.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So they have guitar and drums and one other one I can't think of right now, but they are looking for a piano instructor. So if you know a piano player who wants to teach some private lessons, but and I was really happy for them because, you know, slowly getting back to, you know, I hate when people say new normal, but, you know, finding ways to make things work during COVID. So, and I'm sure there are other places that teach private lessons. I just happen to be in there actually asking them about a city project. So anyway, Wendy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I've been watching Wickline. He does videos on how to repair guitars and stuff.
Yes.
Really cool. I have no musical talent, but I enjoy watching him fix things. So Wickline on Facebook.
He's great. That's who we always bring our stuff to down at Fuller's. Like, he's really good at repairing things, but also putting in pickups and stuff like that. Yeah, Wick's great.
Very
He's like
cool.
one of those, he's an instrument brainiac, I think.
Yeah, yes. A luthier, they call themselves.
Yeah,
Repair.
in Fuller's Music, if it wasn't for them, this podcast would never have gotten off the ground back in 2012 they guided me through the whole process. So if you want to start a podcast or a video cast, contact Fuller's Music and they'll hook you up. So
it is owned now by David Rhodes, and I agree, Wendy, he's just fantastic. They maintain a lot of our city equipment for our live broadcasts for the Board of Aldermen meetings and our other quasi-judicial boards, and they're fantastic. Something goes wrong, they're a mile up the road, and that's one of the great things about, you know, doing business with them is they can be on site pretty quickly.
we're really lucky to have them, you know.
We are.
So
We are. So we have a free city giveaway that is coming up this weekend. That is hosted and provided in part by Alderwoman Jamisha Harris and also Barbara Best. Furniture and clothing, COVID supplies, masks, all kinds of cool stuff. And this is the second time they've done it, and it is on the little poster says that it's at the Park on Broad, right behind Master Cuts. But that's been moved to the Omega Center. So we want to let people know about that giveaway going on this weekend. And I believe it's 11 to 1, Wendy?
Yeah, 11 to 2.
11 to 2. I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
So,
yeah.
go by there and get all kinds of supplies and good things that you might need. It is, I'm glad they're not doing it today, right? Because it is
My goodness.
not nice
Yeah.
outside today.
Yeah, Kathy, what did you say your rain gauge said?
At 8:30 this morning, it was 4.1 inches from the overnight, but it's been raining steadily here ever since, and raining, hard to moderately. So there's probably at least another inch or so. And
I
the
did see
gauge only goes to 5 inches.
Yeah, there's a flood warning right now in New Bern, I believe.
We
Good catch.
we had a staff meeting this morning and we were talking about it, and two really good things. No significant reports of flooding, some big puddles and things out there people have had to navigate, and all the leaves don't make it any better, but and no power outages. So, but they are expecting, and you can really hear it outside, they're expecting the winds to pick up, particularly as we get another possibly 3 inches of rain. So if you lose power, 636-4070, if you are a City of New Bern customer, yes, we do automatically get an alert if you have an AMI meter on the side of your house, but it never hurts. You can also report your outage online, newbernnc.gov/power outage. So we try to make it as easy as possible, but the chief message here obviously is be careful driving if you do have to go out, and if you don't, probably stay home. It's coming down in buckets out there.
It's raining cats and dogs.
It
No,
is.
that wasn't the joke. I should have been.
Aren't we lucky we get to Zoom this meeting instead of have to go somewhere?
Yeah,
That's right.
as long as I don't lose the internet, we don't lose the internet, we'll be good.
And so the governor has told us that we are pausing in phase 3 in the state of North Carolina, and has, because of rising COVID numbers, has decreased our indoor gathering capacity from 25 back down to 10. Of course, we all are thinking about Thanksgiving coming up in a couple weeks. And so what is everybody doing for Turkey Day?
I'm going to figure out what I can order from the grocery store.
I think that the order's interesting, and I'm not going to give legal advice here, just maybe one man's opinion who happens to be a lawyer but is not giving legal advice. It looks like it's not changing capacity or numbers for businesses that are included in phase 3. So, for example, if your business already had a 30%, like a movie theater, if you're able to go at 30%, it doesn't mean it reduced that down to 10 people. I think it's just non-business type events. So just maybe take a look at that order and see it. It almost seems like it's aimed at trying to keep people separated for Thanksgiving. And I'm not making a political statement. I just think that maybe what is on people's minds is try to keep your crowds down, maybe over the holiday, because it just goes through December 3rd or 4th, I think.
Yes. Yep. And speaking of that, December 4th, I just heard today that the Craven County JCs, they usually do a Christmas parade each year. They want to wait to make a final decision on whether they're going to have the parade or not until December 4th or 3rd, when we hear from the governor again. So we've been getting some phone calls and emails about, is the parade still going to go on? They are encouraging you to register if you want to have a float in the parade, but a final decision will probably be made once we figure out what's going on in December. But I agree, George, the order does feel so geared more towards some of those family and more private gatherings versus some of the business ones.
Yeah.
Wendy, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
I'll probably grill do a beer can turkey on the big green egg, just a little turkey, because my family's in New York and you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. I think that's still in effect before you
I think it
connect.
is.
So yeah. And I do want to clarify for Robin Michelle, she guessed on our Facebook page about the question.
She did.
She did, but you guessed 2 different answers. So please clarify which one is your answer, because one of them is correct.
Ooh.
Maybe it's a goat mouse, like a really small mouse with a beard.
I'm not looking at you, George. You're not getting it out of me.
That sounds like a good Halloween costume.
There you go. That's right. Well,
Be a
that's a
goat
good
mouse.
tip. That's a good, Wendy, that's a really good hint. We need to see who gets first. I know that my wife Dare is watching right now. Dare, you need to go in there and win this contest. Dare, you need to win this contest.
Get some good gear. Get a good prize
That's right.
from Wendy Card.
All right, and we have our first guest in the waiting room. I think. I'm
Ooh.
guessing there's 2 attendees. So
Is that Mr. Yates?
Let me scoot over to the. Yeah, Kevin Yates. There we go.
I just saw him on Tuesday night at the Board of Aldermen meeting.
Yes. Yes.
As
I
he gets
watched
signed
that.
in, he's gonna.
There he is.
All right, here we go.
I just saw you the other night. How are you doing?
That's right. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
So how many years now have you been taking charge of Wreaths across America? Because you're very good at it.
Oh, thank you. This is my 3rd year as the location coordinator. My 7th year that I've been involved overall, but my 3rd year. I started right the same year as we got Hurricane Florence, and so that was my baptism and fire right there. So.
Well, you got your wish for 2 dumpsters, but before we get to that, we got to start with what is Wreaths Across America. I can't imagine anybody in our local area not knowing what it is, but tell us a little bit about Wreaths Across America.
Yeah. So Wreaths Across America is a national organization. We support over 2,000 cemeteries across the country. At the local level, it's entirely a volunteer effort. We fundraise and work and coordinate all year long to sponsor wreaths that will be placed out at the National Cemetery. And all that comes together right here at the very end of the year. This year, we will stop sponsoring wreaths on November 30th. And then on December 19th will be the day that we come out to the National Cemetery and place the wreaths out there on the headstones.
And it is really a visual thing as you guys are coming into New Bern with the escorts from New Bern Fire Rescue and the New Bern Police Department and the motorcycles and all the good things. It's a really special time of year.
Yeah, that's something that we've tried to make it more of a memorable event to try and get the public more interested in it. And I mean, it's an incredible thing that the families really appreciate, and we try to get a lot of people out there to take part in it. But I kind of realized early on that the more we make it interesting and enjoyable and add more to the event itself, rather than just placing the wreaths, we could get a lot more interest. And so we bring in more of those people that want to help. Maybe they want to help with unloading the truck, but they don't want to be out there, at the cemetery part. And then, like I mentioned the other night at the Alderman meeting, one of the things that's interesting to a lot of people is the wreath cleanup has actually become just as popular as putting the wreaths out. And we literally have hundreds of people show up to help us clean up. And that's one of those things that you really wouldn't think would happen, but we've seen that happen the last couple of years now.
So how are things changing with your event because of COVID? You are changing some things.
Yes, we are. So it was because we are a national cemetery, we do have to comply with the National Cemetery Administration's guidance. And so that is going to be across the board at every national cemetery. And we'll be limited to 50 people in the cemetery at a time. And although it is an outdoor event, like I said, it's a blanket policy that we have to comply with. So 50 people in the cemetery. And we will be requiring people to wear masks and social distance for people that aren't families and haven't been around each other. for the large part. So we have signups on our website, wreathsacrossamerica.org, and you have to go on there and search for the New Bern National Cemetery, and then there's a volunteer button, and so you can click on that volunteer button, and then there are time slots that you'll be able to sign up. And we'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning on December 19th. That first half-hour session, though, is going to be limited to family members that have loved ones interred there at the cemetery. And that's so that they can get in there and place a wreath on their family member's headstone before we just open it up to the public. And then so starting at 9:45 is when the public will be allowed to come in, and every half hour thereafter. And so we'll be controlling who comes in and who comes out, and making sure that everybody has an opportunity to place a wreath that day.
How can I sponsor a wreath? And do I register somewhere to be a volunteer?
Yes. So the easiest way is to go to wreathsacrossamerica.org, search for the New Bern National Cemetery, and that's important. So if you go on the Wreaths Across America and just click donate, your wreath is likely going to end up at Arlington. So you need to search for New Bern National Cemetery, and then you can go on there and sponsor a wreath. And like I just said, if you want to volunteer, it's also on that same page, wreathsacrossamerica.org. We also have a Facebook page, Wreaths Across America New Bern. We put a lot of information, a lot of good stuff out there. We put videos, we put photos, come up with a lot of ideas. And so this year, just like everybody, we're having a hard time fundraising. We're behind at where we typically would be at this point. We have about 1,700 wreaths sponsored at this point. That's a great number, but our goal each year is over 6,000. So to put it in perspective. So one of the things that we started last year was putting pennies out on the headstones. So pennies are a longtime military tradition. When people would go visit a military cemetery, they would put pennies on the headstones. And that was to let the family members know that somebody had come and visited their loved one. And so we started that last year because we didn't have enough wreaths. And we're going to do that again this year. So we're asking people that do come out to sponsor or to help us place the wreaths, if they'll bring a pocket full of pennies with them also. And so we can put pennies out.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. And that's a lot of work, Kevin. Wow.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but it's very enjoyable. I've enjoyed being in participating with it. And like I mentioned the other night at the Alderman meeting, and I tell a lot of people this, the great thing about this program is it brings so many people together. You'll see kids out there, scouts, youth groups, all the way up to veterans. You'll see people out in the community that just want to come out and help. You've got motorcycle riders. You've got, I mean, you name it, every demographic is represented out there. And that's what I really love about our program.
Kevin, I've just gone on your website, and it is easy to find the New Bern National Cemetery. There's a menu, pull it down, and you search. You can search locations, and it does look like you can sponsor and volunteer directly here. It says that 2020 so far, the number of wreaths sponsored, is that just for New Bern? Is that national?
Are you on the New Bern National Cemetery?
I am.
Yeah, so that number that's on there, and I believe what's showing probably 1,100, 1,200 wreaths roughly.
Yep, 1,271. Yeah,
correct. So that is that's what's showing right now in the system. We had a big fundraiser the other night at Ghent Sandwich Shop, and Ghent Sandwich Shop, we were actually able to raise over $2,000 the other night, and so that's processing. So all those wreaths are going to hit soon, and that's where we're coming up with our number of 1,700.
How much is a wreath to sponsor, Kevin?
They're $15 each, and it's a live wreath. It's it'll come all the way from Maine, and they come out, and like I said earlier, we'll place them out on December 19th, and then in January, we'll go back out there and pick them back up.
So New Bern's got about another month to do this, and according to your website, you still need another 5,500 wreaths.
That's correct.
What happened at Ghent? So yeah, that we really need to help sponsor this. That will put one on every site there. Grave site?
Correct.
Okay.
There are 6,772 headstones at the New Bern National Cemetery.
Mm.
It's one of the largest. It's the largest national cemetery in the state of North Carolina in terms of headstones.
You have other local organizations helping you out with this?
Yes, we have 20 different organizations this year that are participating. We have fraternities from ECU. We have different veteran organizations here in New Bern, the American Legion, the VFW, et cetera. We have a motorcycle club. We have future healthcare professionals from Pamlico County. We have we have 20 different organizations that help us all year long to fundraise.
That's
awesome.
fantastic. Well, hopefully we'll get lots of folks interested in the event and sponsoring a wreath. And as we said in the beginning, just, keep knocking it out of the park and organizing this thing. We appreciate everything that you do each year to honor our vets at the cemetery, and just thank you for all of your hard work.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you. I
Kevin.
certainly appreciate the opportunity to come on here and share the message.
Great seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
Kevin.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yay.
Love that program.
Yeah, me too. And he is so super nice.
Yes, he is.
Explains everything, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had
we
no
have our
idea.
next guest, right?
Yeah, Darlene, are you ready for us? I hope.
Darlene Brown with Craven County Partners in Education, who Wendy's going to try and get signed in. She
Did you
talking
guys-
about pancakes.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, pancakes for pie. What about pie for pancakes? We need to switch.
Is she there?
All right, there she
There
is.
she is. Hey, Darlene.
Hello, starting my video. Okay,
There she is.
it's like magic, isn't it?
How are you doing?
Well, I'm getting ready for some pancakes for pie. That's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to stay dry today. Today was a day that you brought your lunch with you. Because you're thinking, oh, I'm not going out in this mess. So
And George was just talking about switching them up, having pie for pancakes.
Right. I mean, it's in the name, Darlene. You gotta,
I know. And we have actually thought about having pie as selling pies as a fundraiser. And if you want a real laugh, we used to do something called Pie Bowl, which was really, the teachers loved it. And if you're not familiar with it, it was in teams and the teachers would dress up and they would win money for best costume, best spirit. It was always a sellout. They love it. And then our bowling alley went away. And we have actually been thinking about doing pie hole, cornhole, and calling it pie hole. But, the name.
You gotta do it. But instead of throwing bean bags, you throw little pot pies.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You've always got to be creative about things. And we were talking about that balloon glow too. I was talking to Jeffrey Odom about it. We could call that pie in the sky.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Making that a balloon glow, a fundraiser for Partners in Education. So, me, however I can get these teachers money, I'm going to try my very best to do it.
And you're awesome at it.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Tell us more about pie. So it's Partners in Education, but tell us what y'all do.
Well, we're a 501c3 and we were set up to raise money for Craven County schools. And what we do is we give that money to teachers in the form of grants. And we do other things. We do like Stuff the Bus. We have other programs where we do programs for the teachers. We've been very successful at Stuff the Bus. That has just been, Target donated 17 pallets of school supplies.
Wow.
That just like blew me away. Yes, exactly. Yay. So anyway, so we get school supplies from people around the community, but also from, we partner with different business community partners. But that's one of the things that we do. And excuse me, one of the ways we raise money is Pancakes for Pie. And all of the money that we raise from Pancakes for Pie goes to these grants programs for our teachers. And last year we gave out $25,000 to 19 teachers. On average, they can apply for up to $1,500. So it can be for any grade level, any teacher, any subject. It can be art, science. But what we ask is that it be a project in the classroom that meets the curriculum standards for North Carolina. So that's the money that we raise for this event. That's what we do with it. And Pancakes for Pie will be held at Morgan's on December 5th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's a common pay at the door event. It's $7 for adults and $5 for children 12 and under. And if you've ever been to it, it's a really successful event and it's kind of shoulder to shoulder. And we ask that when people come this year, they practice the 3 W's, wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. So, Morgan's, I contacted Candace and Adam about this, and they were all in. They're like, yes, we're going to do this. And if you've been there, you know that they are the best at sanitizing and keeping everything wiped down. They have sanitizer at every table. We just ask when you come in, be sure and have your mask on. All of our volunteers and the servers, the morning of the event, they will have health screenings. So we will know where we stand with our volunteers and the servers. And also Morgan's has the outside seating. So we can open that up if you want to sit outside. They have the heaters, so we'll have that available too, of course, weather permitting. And we do have to go. We're working on some things that maybe we can make that a little bit more accessible, but we do have to go orders. So stay tuned to see if we can kind of fine tune some things about that. Wendy, if we find that we can do the things that I want to do that I have envisioned right now, I'll let you know, and maybe you can announce it next week.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And do you need volunteers, or do you all set up with your volunteers?
Well, I'll tell you, this is a really popular event for our board and ambassadors. And we pretty much have the volunteers that we need. They almost fist fight to come and work at this event. It's so popular. And George, how tall are you?
Well, I used to say 6'7". Last time I had a physical, they told me I shrank down to 6'6". So I guess 6'6".
I'll tell you why I asked. We like to have tall volunteers so they can stand back in the back of the restaurant and guide people in the back. We have a system where whoever's coming in, Don Brinkley will hold up a hand and go 2, and whoever's standing in the back will go, I've got 2, and we send them. So if you want to come volunteer and be tall, yeah, we're not throwing gang signs. We're saying how many people are sitting. But it really is a fun event. And like I said, our board members and our ambassadors absolutely love it. And all the people that come, they really seem to love it too. And I have to give a shout out to Candace and Adam at Morgan's. They donate everything for this event. They buy all of the food supplies, everything. And so all the money that we make off of it, Pi gets. And then plus we have that beautiful sponsor banner that hangs up year round at Morgan's. And so as a sponsor of this event, you get to be on that banner. Although at this point, the banner has been ordered, so it's too late to get on the banner now. But if in the future you would like to do the sponsor we have a new word. If you would like to partner with us with Pancakes for Pi, be sure and let me know. In January, I'll be sending out those sponsorship forms, partner forms. We've changed it and I'll never get used to it. I'll always call it sponsorships. I've been in this business too long. But anyway, if you would like to be a partner for any of our events, you can always contact me and let me know. But that banner up in Morgan's is just awesome. And it demonstrates their commitment to our community, not just our community, but to public education, which has just been eviscerated in the last couple of years. It's just, the budget cuts, it just has not really been good. And what our teachers have gone through between the hurricane and this pandemic, it's been really tough on them. It has, and I can see the stress on their faces when I meet with them. But they are resilient, and they're in it because they know that they are teaching to make a difference. And I have a pie brochure you can see.
Hold on one second.
To make a living, I teach to make a life. And our former assistant superintendent said that, and I absolutely love that. And that's exactly what our teachers are doing. And Colleen, you have a daughter that is a teacher, and her commitment to
And son-in-law. They're both teachers.
There you go. I've forgotten about him. That's right. So their commitment. I mean, they think about it constantly. It's always in their heads. How can I improve what I'm doing?
They are. I tip my hat to teachers and everything that they have been through, and the creativity they continue to display in ways to reach students and to teach them lessons and things. And although, you know, the thought of pancakes makes me hungry right now, I just also thought about pizza pie.
Yeah,
There you
we could have a pizza pie fundraiser.
Mhm. And
Fun.
I've gone on your website here, Darlene, while we're on. And if you can't make it on the 5th and eat pancakes, and hopefully everybody can, you can donate online. So if you're listening to the things that Darlene is talking about and you want to try to help teachers in Craven County, go to cravenpartners.com. There's that partners word, Darlene.
I know, I know.
So you can partner by sponsoring this organization. It looks like it's really easy to do online there. So you know, anybody that's moved by this, but either can't be there that day or for some reason can't eat pancakes. I guess there's a few people like that. You can just go online and try to support.
Exactly. Like I
Yes.
said, this has become a staple for downtown. What a lot of people do is they start their day off at Pancakes for Pie and then go to the other events through Very Merry Christmas. So it's a great way to start the day and be a part of supporting our downtown merchants and a part of the Very Merry Christmas program.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on to share some info with us today, Darlene.
You are
It's
very
always-
welcome. I always love coming on here and see all of your smiling faces. And George, keep the good stories coming.
I was going to ask, can you make reservations for the 5th? Is that possible? Is it walk in?
We don't take reservations. It's a pay at the door event. But like I
Right.
said, be on the lookout for by the end of next week. I'm working with some people to maybe make some things a little bit easier. But you know, it takes a web guru, somebody with a paycheck that a little bit higher than mine.
Oh, I only asked because we're supposed to play music that morning, I think 11 to 1 in front of the Polo's house for Very Merry Christmas. And so I'm going to bring a whole lot of kids in there to eat pancakes and before we go out there and play. That'll be fun.
Good.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah.
Darlene, it's always awesome seeing you. And thank you for joining us at the last minute. I think I asked you 2 days ago, and it's always great seeing you.
Well,
Thank
you
you
know,
for
I'm
all you
dedicated
do.
to you. I'm dedicated to you. So however
Same
I
here.
can help y'all and support you, feel free to contact me.
We'll partner together.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Let's partner in.
Thank you and have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right.
I'm looking at the answer. Looks like Robin Michelle has picked between goats and mice, and she has chosen mice.
Although I think she spelled it nice.
Oh, she's got a picture of a mouse on there.
Of a mouse.
That's
Is it
right.
a Himalayan mouse? Yeah.
So Wendy, you're not, are you?
Huh?
To say
Wait till the
the
end.
contest, the trivia question again.
Yeah, I will. And we'll say the answer in 10 minutes. So the question is, what are the world's highest dwelling mammals? And there's a hint on this screen. But I probably don't need to give you a hint. Don't look.
Is that it?
I know.
Is that what's that? Is that a painting behind you there?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. What is it? Is that is that apple on that?
That's my sister Jamie Card. She refuses to call herself an artist, although she's been painting and drawing and photography for many, many years. She's a computer whiz. But that's Allegheny State Park up in the southern tier of New York. And it's just, that's my favorite place in the park ever since I was just a little kid. So
A nice thing for your sister to paint.
yeah. And but anyway. Okay. And what else?
Let's see. Tonight we have we want to send our condolences out to New Bern and Craven County over the passing of Commissioner Johnny Sampson Jr. There is a private service tonight for him at the convention center, and then tomorrow at noon is his funeral at the New Bern Riverfront Convention Center. So we certainly say our prayers and keep in our thoughts his wife Ethel and their entire family, all the kids going through a tough time. I thought about you, Wendy, and you ringing the bell for all of the people who have suffered and passed, unfortunately, because of COVID. And it is sad to have to add one of our county commissioners to that, and we will miss him. He was such a voice for the people here, especially the underserved. Someone said, the downtrodden, the poor, and he was all of that. Mayor Outlaw described him as having a mind for solutions, and he really did. Just always helpful and thoughtful and extending a helping hand, and we will miss him.
Yes, definitely. And thanks for bringing that up, Colleen. Our hearts just go out to the family and friends. I mean, he touched so many people in our town and beyond. But when I rang the bell last Friday, I said his name when I rang it. And if you lost a loved one, please let me know, and I will say their name out loud. My number is 259-6853. So
I do have a couple of other things to mention while we give people a few more minutes to think about high-dwelling mammals. If you watched or were in attendance for the Board of Aldermen meeting on Tuesday, several people spoke about extending Chief Toussaint Summers' employment for another year. He submitted his intentions to retire at the end of this year. And so I don't think he's changed his mind, but several people spoke out in support of him and his work with the community to really enhance and improve the relationship between the police and the community. And so this morning on our staff meeting, our virtual staff meeting, we teased him that we were in the esteemed presence of Chief Summers. We weren't worthy. So we had to poke some fun at him this morning, but he certainly has done an incredible job as our police chief for the last 8 years, I think, 9 years. So I guess, I don't know, maybe we make the drum roll and see if he's going to stay or not. I'm not sure.
Colleen, that was just so wonderful to hear from Hazel Royal and all the faith leaders. And, that must have really humbled him for his community, his leadership in community policing. And that'd be wonderful if he did change his mind. I know he's been at it for 44 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But that it just speaks volumes of how the greater New Bern area community feel about him. So thank you for your service, Chief Summers. So
yes. I think we may have talked about this before, but the street cafes closing the streets on the weekends so people can come and dine outdoors has been extended to December 19th. There is talk that it will continue to be extended beyond that, but I did want to let people know. And then another hot topic for years, especially at City Hall, has been the need for an elevator and better handicap accessibility here at City Hall. And I just want to let folks know that we got really excited when the funding was approved, and now we are taking the next step. We will have those bid documents sent out to potential vendors and all that to get some of the architectural renderings and all those things kind of in place. We will have those bid documents out very shortly. So there are some very methodical steps in the process, but we are on our way. So, and it will be an exterior elevator project versus building it interior to this historic building that dates back to the late 1890s. So you'll eventually see some construction, more construction, I should say, going on downtown. But I know a lot of people are excited about that, and they often ask where we are in the process. So
that's wonderful. The city has come a long way. I remember when they were just talking about, the beginnings of it. So
we have a very rudimentary chair that kind of climbs the steps while you're in it, and it just It's not the most attractive thing. It's not the smoothest ride. We haven't gotten very good feedback on that robotic chair of sorts. So, and I completely understand that. So we will see some bigger, better things in our future here at City Hall. We're excited about that.
Awesome. All right. And so Very Merry Christmas, when does that start?
That
The
is the day after Thanksgiving, I believe, with a huge Black Friday shopping weekend and all kinds of things going on. City staff were out at Bear Plaza over the weekend helping the Very Merry Christmas Committee, say that 3 times fast, get those decorations in place. The Santa house is down there. We were talking about this a few weeks ago. So the Santa house has been modified this year because of COVID. It has double doors on the front, and they are thinking and discussing ways to maybe have a bench where the family and the little kids can sit and talk to Santa through a plexiglass. Keep everything nice and safe and socially distanced.
Is George, you gonna be the Santa?
Yeah, I've been working on my beard. What do you think?
Well, see, they probably wouldn't need plexiglass if you're like 7 feet, you're the social distancing.
I'll be coming out going, what would you like?
That's right. Looking for the roof.
Now that's the Grinch. That's not Santa.
Yeah.
Or the abominable snowman or something. Yeah.
Wendy, I thought you were going to say, could he come out to the Santa house and be the person that he was going to be at Pancakes for Pie? 2, I got 2 on
Yeah.
The spotter, yeah.
That's fun.
Anyway.
For a Santa. So if you, I don't know if they still are, but if you if you have certain characteristics that would make you a good Santa, perhaps reach out to the Very Merry Christmas elves. I know Taylor Shannon was asking about that. So they may still be looking. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun thing to do.
You'd be a really good one.
I think it would be a good time. So maybe down the road. Yeah. I have been working on my bowl full of jelly.
Your COVID-19 bowl full of jelly.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I've been calling mine my happy belly, but I think I'm going to change it. Full jelly.
The Christmas. Right.
And Art Walk. Did we talk about Art Walk?
We did not hit it.
Okay, that's November 13th, which is tomorrow. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that
Tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, from 5 to 8 at participating galleries and businesses in downtown and around town. So it's not just the downtown businesses, but also like Uptown Gallery and Wine and Design, and there may be a few others. So contact the Craven Arts Council and Gallery for more information. I don't have their number off the top of my head, but if you just Google Craven Arts Council, their information will come up. So yeah.
All right, it's 1:50. We said we were gonna say what the trivia question answer is.
Okay, do we have any guesses beside Robin? Did you answer? Yes, you said she answered. Okay.
Went with mouse.
George, Kathy, Colleen.
I like the option of a goat mouse, but I think I'm gonna go with just the plain mouse.
Just a plain mouse, not a Himalayan Yeti mouse.
I think I would go with a goat. Yeah, just because like whenever you look at the pictures of the Alps and stuff, there's always a little goat up top.
Now
Yeah.
that's true.
Right on top, like with a little bell on. So that goat, the goat with the bell.
What's your answer, Kathy?
A Himalayan Yeti mouse.
Okay, all right. She's sticking to it.
Straight from the Roadkill Cafe.
Yum.
Mice.
What is that?
Here, let me do the speaker view here.
Is that a real mouse?
I know. Did you have
Yeah.
them? Did you catch them and have them?
Okay, why isn't it picking up? The camera. Hello. Why isn't it?
Go a little higher. Go a little higher.
Yeah, higher.
Higher. Hello.
There
you go.
hello. See, it's not picking me up. That's weird. Anytime I try not to be on full screen, I show
What
up
are
on
we
full
looking at?
screen.
What are we looking? What is that?
It looks like roadkill to me.
There we go. They're mice.
Are they real?
Oh my goodness.
Are they?
They're dancing mice.
But do they used to be like live mice?
No,
Okay.
it's a craft. I don't know what they're made of, but
They
kind of
look
like that felted mice, maybe. And they got little claws. It's really cool.
Yeah, they actually, Wendy, on this camera, they actually look like they're made of mice.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't get it from the taxidermist. No,
No.
No.
they're felted mice. So yes, the answer is mice. According to National Geographic, a new expedition to the Andes has found a mouse living atop a 22,000-foot volcano. So
Okay.
Wow.
22,000 feet and a volcano. Like, what are they eating? You know,
Right.
unless
Maybe
they're
there's something growing at
cannibalizing.
the warm edge of the volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
And we still have 7,000 more feet for somebody to go beat out the mouse.
Right. All those enterprising animals that are listening to this podcast that
That's
Yeah.
right.
want to be in the record books.
So what's Laura cooking? Hopefully not mice.
No.
I don't know. I know I'm grilling chicken and green beans tonight. So,
Oh,
yeah,
man, can I come over?
Sure. Yeah.
You mean if it clears up, you're going to be grilling, or are you indoor grilling?
No, I grilled in the big green egg. It could be a storm.
Oh,
It
okay.
has a little chimney thingamajig to keep the rain out. I
Well,
have
then
an
I'm really
umbrella to get it started.
I'm really coming over if you have a big green egg. I
Oh
don't-
yeah. You can make anything on it.
All right. Well, we would like to let everybody know if you want to be a guest, if you want to come on like Darlene did today or Kevin Yates and talk about an event or a program or a service you have going on, please make those suggestions by calling Wendy at 252-259-6853. You can also send an email at info@newbernnow.com.
Do we
Yeah.
get a joke
We
today?
didn't,
Oh,
we
that's
didn't do the
right.
joke.
Joke time. Take all that back.
That was good, Colleen. Where did the joke go? Okay. What is the best thing about Switzerland?
The goats.
The Himalayan Yeti goats, yeah.
The cheese.
What I was thinking of. Jeez.
The cheese, maybe because the cheese is holy. It's a religious experience. I don't know.
Swiss Miss, hot cocoa.
I don't know, but their flag is a huge plus.
Okay.
George, I need you to send me a joke next time.
Oh, okay. It'll probably a banjo joke or a lawyer joke. There's no shortage of those.
Yeah.
And since we have a few minutes to go, this has to add up to an hour. George, tell us about your small town podcast.
Oh
Town
yeah.
news.
So we've been having fun with small town news. I posted the most recent one. So on Wednesdays, we do something called Porch Chat, which is really just a short, maybe 4 to 8 minutes long of just talking about something fun. And we released one of those yesterday. And in it, I talked about a thing that happened to me at my house. And Dare doesn't usually listen to the podcast, but she listened to this one. So she put a little post on Facebook about it. It was kind of fun. She basically invited the spouses of the podcasters to start their own podcast talking about us. So that was kind of fun.
It was funny.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that.
It was really funny. And I offered to take it down. She said, no, it's okay. It was fun. But this past week on our Saturday, we usually do, we have a small town somewhere in the United States, and Jess Saxon, our researcher, pulls together articles from a paper in that town. And then we do stories based on those and just improv, and it's just fun. But we were in La Grande, Oregon this past week, and we got contacted by a newspaper reporter yesterday from that newspaper wanting to do a story about the stories we did about their stories. So it gets real meta. And she had not listened to the episode yet. And so we said, why don't you listen first and then make something you want to do?
You might change your mind.
I know. We went back, and she was not a writer of any of the articles that we focused on, which is probably good. But there are people that are still on the masthead there that did write some of those articles. One in particular is a man named Dick Mason. And one of our guys thought we should send a preemptive edible arrangement to Dick Mason if they do, because it was kind of fun and, you know, maybe silly and juvenile, but yeah. And so we'll see if that happens. I don't know. She may do an interview with us and write about it in their local paper, which would be kind of fun. But it's been a lot of fun. We've covered a lot of states so far. I think we've done about half the states. And we're still doing that once a week, putting those out, and just having a lot of fun with some really good friends. Yeah.
Do you? I know you have someone who picks the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, Jess.
Does she take any suggestions?
Oh, we always ask if somebody would like their small town featured to let us know, and she can go. She just needs to find some stories from the local paper. And the fun thing about small town news is they're usually fun stories about local people. It's nothing like, we don't usually talk about crimes or anything. It's just fun local news. So if you think about the kind of things that usually run in the local section of the Sun Journal, it's those kind of stories about the community. And we just take inspiration from those stories and then just do little improv scenes based on that. So a lot of times it's not even about the people that it's written about, but it might be a phrase or a name that kind of make us think something's funny. So we'll go on that.
Yeah, and you take it all over the place. So
let me, in case Dare's still listening, or even if she isn't, Dare, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. One thing, and I really don't believe those things that I said that one time that I'm sorry about. So anyway, the couch is very comfortable, and I slept on it last night, and I'm hoping that this will help me not sleep there tonight. Hold on, let me see if she's listening. All right, she's not responding, so we'll see. Oh, Dare just wrote. She said it's okay.
Bowling 101.
She's the best. She's the best. But it really has been fun. I think our son Mason listens to it maybe more than anyone, and we have a lot of fun inside jokes now because he'll reference something that was in one of these episodes, and that's been really cool. It's just to have those little moments with Mason. So.
What great memories he's going to have,
Yeah.
All your kids, and you guys. So quite a family. And what else? Oh, I did want to bring up the farmers market. If you haven't been to the farmers market lately, check it out. They've got all kinds of crafts and Christmas gifts and all kinds of things. So support our local farmers and crafters and whoever. There's authors down there sometimes. Yeah. So give a little shout out to the farmers market. Oh, and yes, I also have contest that's running on New Bern Now's Facebook page for any nonprofit that are local. Whoever gets the most votes, what your favorite local nonprofit is, will get a free advertisement on New Bern Now's website, which is I usually sell it for $200 for the month. So it will be free for the nonprofit, and I think we're going to do that every month. So
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, very good, Wendy.
So vote for your favorite nonprofit.
And do that on the Facebook page for New Bern Now?
Yeah, New Bern Now's Facebook page under the post that says, actually, I think it's a picture of last year's Giving Tuesday at Tryon Palace. That's the post. So
Going back to the farmers market, remember the witch tree that was in the farmers market? I took a picture of that and then posted it. And they had this neat tree made all up of witch characters for Halloween. The fellow that made that is going to make a whole row of Christmas trees down the center of the farmers market. I'm not sure when they're
Cool.
going to start going up, but it will be a whole array of neat Christmas trees for you to go and see at the farmer's market.
That's
That's great.
awesome.
Oh, that'll be neat.
Yeah. Way to get
Very
you in the
cool.
season, that's for sure.
Yep.
Especially-
It's coming whether you like it or not.
Yeah. All right.
Well, be sure to join us on November, what's next week? 20.
19th.
19th.
November
Sorry,
yeah,
Colleen.
19th.
19th. I knew I liked you for some reason, Kathy. On November 19th from 1 to 2, as we will take to Zoom live once again on New Bern Now's Facebook page. The video and audio will be uploaded to newbernnow.com, YouTube, iTunes, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Of course, you can also listen to the show on New Bern's News Talk radio station, WNOS 103.9 FM, every Wednesday. Thank you for playing this show at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday and 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. And George?
Well, folks, that's a wrap.
Thanks for
Y'all
listening.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Woo.
Bye, guys.
Cue the music. There it is.
All right.
Bye.